All right, so let's start by meditation. We can sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Can erect the back, cast the side down, and we can make the first determination in our minds listlessly. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice there's a flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. We continue in this manner to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the head to be heavy and changing. Now let's continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back. We allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And as we allow the body to be the way it is, we achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's curiously watch the relationship between our mind and that object of peace. And we can share our peace with others. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this village or city be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings including me be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, we can make the last determination in our minds restlessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that explanation, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. We can take one more minute to curiously watch the peace we gained in meditation. Okay, very well. So today, yes, I will be giving you the precepts. So everybody please come close to your camera. I will be giving you 3 refuges, 5 precepts according to the traditional way. So you can unmute yourself and you can start right away. So everybody can unmute yourself. I'm waiting for that. So Jake, Learn, Mentuan, Taolian, you can unmute. Yes. Yes, very good. Very good. So you can keep your hands together at the chest. Yamahan vadami tang vadeta.
Bhante.
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 Yes, it's a little confusing. You say Amma Bhante, then you say Aham Bhante. That's because Amma means yes, you're reacting to my suggestion that you repeat after me. And then you have to say it looks like again, but it's actually totally different. And that is Aham Bhante, means I, Venerable Sir, and then it continues with the request that I give you to 3 refuges and 5 precepts. So although it looks a little similar, in fact, it's totally different. So let's continue. Aham Bhante.
Aham Bhante.
Saranena Saha. Panchasilang Dhammang Yajami.
Panchasilam Dhammam Yajami.
Anugraham Katva.
Anugraham Tatva.
Silang Deta Me Bhante.
Silam Ditha Me Bhante.
Anukampang Upadaya.
Anukampam Upadaya.
Dutiyampi Aham Bhante.
Dutiyampi Aham Bhante.
Isaranena Saha.
Tisaranena Saha.
Panchasilang Dhammang Yajami.
Panchasilam Dhammam Yajami.
Anugraham Katva.
Anugraham Tatva.
Silang Deta Me Bhante.
Silam Ditha Me Bhante.
Anukampang Upadaya.
Anukampam Upadaya.
Tatiyampi Aham Bhante.
Satyam Aham Bhante.
Isaranena Saha.
Tisaranena Saha.
Panchasilang Dhammang Yajami.
Panchasilam Dhammam Yajami.
Anugraham Katva.
Anugraham Tatva.
Silang Deta Me Bhante.
Ditha Me Bhante.
Anukampang Upadaya.
Anukampam Upadaya.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Okay, the third time.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Sanghāṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammam saranam gacchāmi, Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sanghāṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi
Dhamma Saranam Gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Sanghāṃ saranang gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ Saranam Gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Sangham Saranam Gacchāmi.
Saranagamanaṃ paripurnaṃ.
Bhante.
Anatipātā vēramaṇi sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Panati para Vera Manis Param Samariyami.
So that's the first precept. Kangvan, can you tell us what is the first precept?
It's not killing.
Not killing. And Tuiha, can you tell us what is the second precept?
Is not stealing.
Adinādāna vēramaṇi sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Adinādāna Vera Manis Param Samariyami.
So Taolian, can you tell us what is the third precept?
The third precept, talking word is not given.
No, I was asking about the third precept. Do you know what's the third precept?
Yeah. The third precept is from sexual misconduct.
No sexual misconduct. Kāmesu micchācārā vēramaṇi sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Kāmesu micchācārā vēramaṇi sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Okay, Tango, what is the fourth precept?
The four precepts is not lying.
Musavada vera manisikhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada vera manisikhapadang samadhiyami.
And then, okay, Isabella, what is the fifth precept?
No taking drugs or alcohol.
Yes. Sura meraya machapamadatthana vera manisikhapadang samadhiyami.
Sura miraya majapatana vera manisikhapadang samadhiyami.
Tisaranena saddhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakhitang katva appamadena sampadeta. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do. Okay, very well. So, let's do our recitation of Ogata. We didn't do it the previous time, but let's maintain that. So let's do it in English today. So let's get into it right away. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Excuse me.
In order that all of the faults, sampadosa,
In order that
all the faults, sabadosa,
done by body, kaya kamma, speech, vachi kamma,
done by body,
kaya kama, speech, vachi kama,
or mind, mano kamma disappear.
or mind, mano, kama disappear.
For the first time, for the second time, for the third time, patama dutiya tatiya.
For the first time, for the second time, for the third time, patama dutiya tatiya.
Completing 3 times, I respectfully and humbly
Completing 3 times, I respectfully and humbly
pay respect and worship the jewel of Buddha,
Pay respect and worship the jewel
and worship the jewel of Buddha,
the jewel of Dhamma, the teachings,
the jewel of Dhamma,
the teachings,
and the jewel of Sangha, the community of monks,
and the jewel of
Sangha, the community of monks,
the 3 jewels, and my parents and teachers, Venerable Sir.
the 3 jewels, and my parents and teachers, Venerable Sir.
As a result caused by my paying respect,
as a result
caused by my paying respect,
may I be liberated and free from all.
May I be liberated and
free from all.
4 realms of woe, 3 periods of disaster.
4 realms of woe, 3
periods of disaster.
8 wrong destinations, 5 enemies.
8 wrong
destinations, 5 enemies.
4 disasters, 5 kinds of detriment.
4 disasters,
5 kinds of detriment.
Destination.
96 kinds of disease, 62 wrong views.
96 kinds of disease,
62 wrong views.
And I want to achieve the peace of path fruition.
And I want
to achieve the peace of path fruition.
The noble Nibbana, Venerable Sir.
the noble
Nibbana, Venerable Sir.
Very well. So let's look at your work. So I would like to ask Isabella, Kanvan, and Mintuan to please raise your hand.
Page 10. Being a teenager is all about breaking out of the chains of our childhoods, just as Siddhartha did. Page 15. But no parent, however well-meaning or powerful, can protect a kid from the basic reality of pain in this life.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Then we have Jing Kanwan.
Page 10. Being a teenager is all about breaking out of the chains of our childhood, just as Siddhartha did. Page 14. The first step in growing up is to take responsibility.
Okay, very well. And then Leung Minh Tân, Tuan, yes, please.
They call him a bodhisattva, which means a being of awakened. Page 14. The first step in growing up is to take responsibility.
Okay, very well. So, let me see my note. You may think your parents are overprotective. Perhaps they are. Like Siddharthas, they love you and they have great aspirations for you. So that's my note. All right, anybody has any questions, anything you would like to ask or learn about or suggest regarding the reading so far? So far, everything seems clear. Very well. So I'm now a little bit forward. So I already know what's coming. And I can tell you that what's coming is definitely very interesting. We had a little problem in the previous reading. So let's go through those problems. They're not many, but they're not a little as well. Some of them are not that important, and maybe you did not even notice them, but I would like to mention them so that I also encourage you in more critical thinking. So in page, basically already in the introduction, we have a problem. Sex is profoundly spiritual, not at all in Buddhism. Sex is not spiritual at all. Sex is only biological and is totally unnecessary, according to Buddhism. It's only considered non-spiritual in religions that deny the sacredness of the body. Yes, Buddhism totally denies sacredness of the body. Buddhism, the Buddhism I teach anyway, is not one of those. Actually, it is. In Buddhism, the body is absolutely non-spiritual. Okay? But we can develop our mind in such a way that the body follows. And so then lust and hatred do not arise in the body, even though they would arise in another person naturally. But after enlightenment, they do not arise in the body. The body does not become vexed and painful or heavy or sweating and so on when difficulties arise or when lustful objects appears. Okay. Then His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the highest authority in Tibetan Buddhism and the most famous and respected Buddhist leader in the world today. He says there are plenty of Buddhists, no need for more. People should continue to be whatever they are. That is total nonsense. If this was true, well, then there is totally no need to teach any Buddhism. Okay, but because there is need to teach Buddhism, because there is the reason to support others in following 5 precepts, we cannot say that people should continue to be whatever they are. Okay, and we should then totally not say that there are enough Buddhists in the world, especially if we understand under Buddhist somebody who's at least enlightened on the first level. So there definitely need to be more Buddhists, at least on the first level, And definitely people should not continue to be whatever they are. They should continue their practice until they become enlightened, or ideally the fully enlightened like arahants. The Dalai Lama says we all should just get happy. Well, depends on what do you mean by happy. If you mean just happy through the idea that there is some permanent self, or that after death there is definitely some eternal happiness, well, that's not how you should be happy, because those are not real happiness. We want to get happy in terms of achieving the ultimate peace of Nibbana. Yes, that is the true happiness, and we definitely all should achieve that. Whatever path leads you to deep and lasting happiness in the path, you should follow. This is a trick sentence. It's a sentence that tricks you into thinking that the author thinks what you think. But it can be so, and it doesn't have to be. The author here did not explain what is lasting happiness. All right. And if you don't know whether your activities or your style leads you towards deep and lasting happiness, well, then you also cannot know whether that's a path you should follow. Okay. So this is a trick sentence. Be careful. It's very common for people to use these, even without realizing they're trick sentences. So if you want, you can agree with this. And if you don't want, you can disagree with it. If you want, you can say, oh, surely what I'm doing leads to my lasting happiness, so it's definitely the right one. Or if you think, well, what I'm doing does not lead to my happiness, so I surely should not do it. But it's totally wrong. It's possible that you feel that what you do does not lead you towards your lasting happiness, but because you actually do it, such as generosity giving, such as morality, such as meditation, even though you do not feel it takes you to lasting happiness, it actually does. It's not very lasting, it's definitely temporary, but it does, and it's better than nothing. But if you want lasting happiness, that would involve enlightenment. Let's go first through these red things so that we finish them off, and then I will address any questions. So, being a good son, he first went to his father for permission. Of course, there was a scene. Siddhartha said he was a changed person and in fact was already separated from the world. He had to become an ascetic. But the king said no. No, we do not have anything of this in our scriptures. Either this is a Mahayana story, like the story is there, but not this particular episode, or it's made up by the author. So be careful. The Siddhartha, according to our scriptures, did not encounter any fences, any hindrances on his becoming a monk. He did encounter a big gate when he was running out from the palace, but that gate, according to our scriptures, itself alone opened up. Well, it's believed that deities came up and opened it, but practically, experientially, the Prince Siddhartha did not have any block or hindrance that would hinder him from going, except, of course, being a father of his first son. He didn't have more than one son, or at least we don't know about it. So his father called Siddhartha thoughtless and foolish and told him he didn't really know what he wanted. No, total disagree. In Theravada, we believe that actually the king Suddhodana bowed down to his son 3 times. Okay, so now the story how he's leaving. He left the city, cut off his hair, and gave his clothes to a passing beggar. No, he did not give his clothes. He did not give his clothes to a passing beggar. That's totally wrong. Instead, he gave them back to his charioteer Channa that Channa can take them back to the palace as a proof that he was with the Prince Siddhartha, and that the Prince Siddhartha is now an ascetic. Stripped naked in the town square and walked away from his father. Siddhartha did much the same. So whatever the Saint Francis, when he was a boy, stripped naked or not, that I don't know. But we can be sure in Theravada scriptures, that the Buddha, to be the Prince Siddhartha, did not strip naked. He did not strip naked, and he was not a naked ascetic, which is what the book here implies, because right after this, they start to explain that there are some ascetics in India who are naked. But the Buddha, to be, or as the Buddha, or both, or in any other way you take it, he was never an ascetic, a naked ascetic. Even in the previous lives, he was not a naked ascetic. And that's it. Okay, Isabella has a question.
For the part that says about the sexual things, right? If sex is bad, then how come it's necessary for reproduction if it's really bad?
That's the point, that it's necessary for reproduction. That's why it's so bad.
So, but if we don't continue reproduction, how's the human life cycle going to continue?
Try it out and you will see. So
as well as
there is a group of people in India who believe that it's not fair towards the kids to give them birth, and so they refrain from giving from reproduction. According to Buddhism, we believe that if we stop reproducing, if we stop engaging in lust, hatred, and laziness and restlessness and doubt, then actually this is very good for all of us, and we would be able to achieve very high levels of happiness, of peace, of wisdom, and so on, and we definitely would be born in heaven, if not become enlightened. But my main point here is that according to Buddhism, we do not believe into evolution, we believe into de-evolution. And due to this theory of de-evolution, we do not really need to worry that the species of human would be interrupted by not reproducing. That is because if we follow, because we would follow, the noble way. Of course, the species can be interrupted by atomic bombs and so on. Nobody probably is talking here about that. But in Buddhism, if we stop reproducing because of ethics, because we engage in a higher noble life, actually there is a high probability that the human being will retransform back to its roots. And we believe that, or the Buddha himself said that the first humans appear in the human world as shining, beautiful lights. And these shining, beautiful lights, they just enjoy their time. Okay, and they do not have any coarse bodies. They do have bodies, but they are not coarse, and they do not have the distinguishment into man or woman, and therefore there is no way how they would reproduce. Only later, through their greed, they gradually de-evolve or under-evolve into the humans with a coarse body, with greed, hatred, and so on. And it all starts with tasting the earth. So these lights, they start to taste earth. At that time, the earth is tasty, and they gain greed for it. And because they're greedy, their light gradually disappears. Their bodies get coarser and coarser and more diversified. In the beginning, they would look basically the same. Whether exactly the same or not, that I don't know. But basically the same. Gradually, with increased greed, hatred, their bodies get coarser and also diversified. And as they become diversified, there is this distinguishment in between men and women, where the men want to have sex with women, women want to have sex with men. But it's believed that even in the past, when men and women would get married, or they would have sexual intercourse, even though it was after marriage, people would be actually very angry and they would throw stones at them. So this is what we believe in Buddhism. If all people in the world stop reproducing, it doesn't really matter. More noble, more life, more with a long lifespan, you know, beings who are more noble, beings who have longer lifespan, beings who are very powerful, who have psychic powers, more wisdom, concentration, and so on, will actually start to appear in the world.
Another question I have is if we have Buddhism, right? Why is there two versions, like Theravada and the other version?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
if it, how must we know it's like one of them is actually true and which one is not true?
Yeah, you can read their scriptures and you can make your decisions. I personally have trust into researchers. Today, many people do not agree with researchers. As for me, you know, I know how researchers are doing their research, so I have a very big trust in them. And according to the modern Buddhist scholars and researchers, Theravada is the original one, and Mahayana came up later based on adding certain elements and ignoring, not knowing, or for whatever.
Rante, we can hear from you.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, can you hear me back?
Yes, I can hear you again.
Yes, it fell off. Sometimes the microphone does that. I worry that it's because I have bent the cable so many times that it doesn't work properly. So the reason why the Buddhism communities are so diversified, I believe, is because some of the communities did not have the access to the full richness of the scriptures, so they made up, some questions and ideas due to lacking the scriptures. Some were lacking it too. Basically, all of them lacked it in one way or another. But then, as they lacked it, they saw in Theravada, for example, the Abhidhamma, and they would say, "Oh, Abhidhamma is what you made up because we don't have it; you have it." And then so they created their own Abhidhamma, which looks very different from ours. So some sects, some of the branches are like that. Some branches want to simplify, so they suggest, for example, I don't know. So there is a Rengikyo, I think, something like that. There is a school in Japan, and there's the Amitabha Buddha also. I think, I don't know where, maybe in Tibet or China, where people believe, that they can actually recite things, and the reciting itself will take them towards Nibbana or increases their chances for Nibbana in the future. No, not really. To increase your chances of Nibbana, you need to engage in generosity, morality, and meditation. So different sects appeared for different reasons. But we believe that Theravada is the original because it seems that the Theravada ideas are historically somehow available for a long time, unlike the others, which do not have, of which history we cannot trace that well far.
Thank you.
Yeah. According to our scriptures, short time after the Buddha passed away, there were 18 schools of Buddhism. But short time after these 18 schools of Buddhism, with a little different view, appeared, they also disappeared. And today, I think we have maximum like 6 to 10. All right. Some of them already follow a pretty good system. Some of these schools, I think, simplify too much or make it too much complicated. All right. So I'm exceedingly tired. I actually did not lie down last night. I was sleeping in a hotel, traveling to Thailand and back within yesterday and today. So I'm quite tired and it's a little bit challenging for me. So I suggest that we wind up today. You already no, you don't. So the next portion for reading, let's do what is Buddhism, and you would not be reading what is Buddhism until the end, but you would cut 3 pages short before the end of that chapter. So basically until the end of page 44. So that's in the printed version. So if you have the printed version, you will know the page 44. If you have the digital version, well, you may like to just read simply the whole chapter, because it's just about those 23 pages. It's not so big difference. So thank you everybody for coming. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Thank you very much, Bante. Everyone, please unmute. Like put your hand at the chest and say goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.